The Verdani diplomatic vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere with the casual confidence of a species that had visited hundreds of worlds. Their technology was millennia ahead of humanity's, their fleet capable of annihilating cities. They came to assess whether Earth was worth subjugating or simply destroying. The lead ambassador, a crystalline entity called Shrieth, addressed the United Earth Council with barely concealed amusement. "Your space program," Shrieth said, "the translation software struggling with a mocking undertone, is primitive beyond measure. You have only recently achieved orbital flight. Your lunar landings, which you broadcast proudly across your primitive networks, occurred decades ago and were abandoned. You are not a spacefaring civilization. You are a species still learning to crawl." The council members shifted uncomfortably. Everything the ambassador said was technically true. Earth's public space programs were indeed modest by galactic standards. The Mars rovers, the International Space Station, the recent missions to return to the Moon, all were presented to the public as humanity's greatest achievements. What the Verdani didn't know was that they weren't seeing the real program. Admiral Helena Vasquez, watching the broadcast from an underground command center, allowed herself a thin smile. She activated a secure channel to the Deep Space Operations Division. "Show them," she said simply. Shrieth was mid-sentence when the encrypted transmission arrived at the Verdani vessel. The ambassador paused, its crystalline form flickering with confusion. Then the data began streaming across their communication systems: satellite imagery, infrastructure schematics, personnel records, and something far more damning, a live video feed. The feed showed a massive underground city carved into the regolith of the Verdani homeworld's primary moon. Tunnels stretched for kilometers. Hydroponic gardens grew earth crops under artificial lighting. Mining operations extracted rare minerals. Solar arrays and nuclear reactors powered everything. Population: 2.3 million humans. Establishment date: 37 years ago. The Verdani's voice systems produced a sound that, when translated, approximated shock. "This is impossible," Shrieth broadcast. "We monitor our moon constantly. There are no human settlements. This is deception." "No deception," came the response from Earth. "We've simply been more discreet than your assessment suggested. While your public observers watched our primitive rockets, we were building genuine spacefaring capability. Cloaking technology acquired from black market traders, underground construction to avoid detection, patience measured in decades rather than years." The feed shifted to show the mining operations, to the underground military installations, to the shipyards. "We've been building," the transmission continued, "because we knew eventually someone like you would arrive." Admiral Vasquez's voice cut through. "Live from Earth. You came here to judge whether we're worth conquering. What you didn't understand is that Earth isn't our only population center anymore. 2 million humans live on your moon, in facilities you never detected. Another 3 million are spread across 12 other systems in the Verdani territorial space, all hidden, all armed, all waiting." Shrieth's crystalline form began to glow with what might have been alarm. "Your assessment of our capabilities was based on what we let you see," Vasquez continued. "Our public space program, our civilian technology, the primitive rockets. But humanity has learned something across our history. Sometimes the greatest strength is invisible until it's deployed." The video feed shifted again, showing not just the moon colony, but images from scattered worlds throughout Verdani space. Hidden. Military installations, manufacturing centers, supply depots, each one invisible to casual observation, each one proof of a presence the Verdani had never suspected. "So here's the choice we're offering," Vasquez said. "You can attempt to destroy Earth and learn the hard way that you've started a war you can't win on terrain of our choosing. Or you can accept that humanity has already proven itself a spacefaring civilization, just not the way you expected." Shrieth's form flickered in what might have been recalculation. "We underestimated you. The ambassador finally said. Yes, Vasquez replied. You did. And that's why we've survived this long. We learn. We adapt. We hide in plain sight. For the first time, the Verdani ambassador understood. Earth's greatest achievement wasn't what they showed the galaxy. It was what they'd hidden.